Well, there it is. Confirmation of yet another disappointing result and disappointing second half. I mean, Paul, you put it best, man. We're up. Oh shit, what do we do now? I don't think it was as frustrating of a 2-goal concession spell as the Harrogate game, because against Harrogate we did genuinely sit back. It was a change of tactics, and parking the bus did not work. And we just got caught on the second goal, obviously, against Harrogate. But this time around, I mean, the Gills were solid that second half. I got to give credit to them. I thought they played pretty well. They knocked it around. When they switched the play, they had numbers forward. They had support. It was a very good header on the first goal from the free kick, won by their substitute, Sean Williams. It was a good header, good leap. I don't know who exactly was marking him because it was kind of hard to see with all the hustle and tussle going around in the area. It was a good header, though. And Zanev got a decent save on it, tipped it, but just on it hit the inside of the post, so it fell perfectly to Aimer. They just kept putting the pressure on. Eventually, their second was scored by Che Alexander, of all players, What can you do? It was a cross, good header away by Nightingale, who I thought had a decent game all around. Maybe one or two instances where he tried to track back defensively, and then they cut it back, and he got beat on the cutback, but I thought Nightingale had a 7 overall, 7.5 overall, did decent, won some headers, put some pressure on some of their strikers. I thought Hawkins and Nichols were both very quiet. Nichols came off because of injury. Hawkins did a little bit better in the second half, though. Shielding it, holding the ball up. And Hawkins did draw the foul toward the last couple minutes. Anyway, Nightingale headed it away. Che Alexander volley from 22 yards out. Decent amount of pace. It wasn't like an absolute belter, but decent amount of pace, and the placement was good right in that bottom corner, tucked it in, and Zanev perhaps could have done... Maybe the positioning from Zanev was a little bit iffy. He was placed around the middle of the goal when the ball was just slightly out of center from when Che Alexander hit it. So maybe Zanev's positioning was a little left to be desired there, but it was still a good volley, good finish, bottom corner, from Che Alexander. I don't think we deserved the win anyway. I think, if anything, a draw would have been the fair result, but I still think Gillingham were the slightly better team on the day. There were a couple moments where we created some half chances or impending half chances with Curry taking it down the center. There was one moment where he actually took a shot on with his weak foot, with his right foot, down low to the keeper's right and beat it away. And Curry was fantastic, man. That's what we needed. That's what we were missing from Curry. Him advancing the play, getting into the final third. I think he looked very positive today, Jack Curry. But he had one of those chances where he blasted it with his weak foot, actually, bottom corner, beaten away by the keeper. Chislett looked positive, too, as he came on. Obviously, with fresh legs, if he had started the game, maybe he would have fizzled out towards the end. But I think he did good. Most of the time, he tried to cut it to his right foot instead of, taking to his left and crossing it. But... also, off-the-ball movement was slow in that first half. I think in the second half it got better. Al-Hamadi, off-the-ball movement was very good throughout the game, really. There were a couple moments where he could have been played through, especially from Josh Davison taking a shot from distance, 25 yards out in around the 20th minute. If he picked his head up, he would have found Al-Hamadi making that run. He could have played him through. Davison, another quiet game. Got taken off eventually, which I think was the right decision. We changed formation to a 3-4-2-1 or 4-2-3-1. I mean, Curry was pretty high, so I would imagine we played a 3. I mean, it's a rough loss, Tough one to swallow. We didn't deserve the win. I think it should have been maybe a draw, though, best case scenario. But the Gills, they played okay today. I mean, the first half, both teams were really slow to come out of the gates. That was a very boring first half, but... credit to McDonald, going forward, the number 7, going forward, playing it to the outside mids. And then, Aidan O'Brien, the substitute, the center mid, never got dispossessed once, dished it out to some of their players. I think he was also a solid player for them. We had a hard time dealing with their midfield in the second half. We couldn't dispossess them. They were tough. They played it out to the wide areas. It's hard to dispossess them. We played defensively, not because we were sitting back, but because Gillingham were good in possession in that second half. But still, I don't think we deserved to win. Going through the list in terms of individual performances, Zanev was an 8. He made a couple of pretty good saves today, one of which was a deflection off of a long shot in the first half, and he had to bring his top hand over, tipped it off the bar. Good save. Little bit of meh positioning for the second goal there, though. Brown, 7. Couple good balls in the box, but nothing much to talk about. Nightingale was 7.5. I thought he did okay. Gunter was I want to say 6.5. Curry was an 8. Little 7. Woodyard, 6.5. McAteer was a 9. I thought 8.5. I think he maybe got dispossessed a couple times, but there were moments where he dispossessed. There was moments that he got forward. He looked lively. Pell was a 5. Pell was non-existent. Al-Hamadi was a 7.5. No, 8 actually, because he scored. Davison was a 6. No, I'd say 5.5. Jane, 6 after he came on. Chislett, 8. Pearson only really had the ball once or twice. 7. Marsh, 7.5. Not much to talk about. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, there wasn't much to talk about aside from the fact that we conceded 2 goals yet again. I mean, it was a spell of 10-15 minutes from Gillingham in which they played very well. They took their chances. They won the header from the free kick. I don't think any of us lost our mark from that first free kick per se. It was just a really whipped-in ball. Very good leap in the air from whoever won the header, Sean Williams. Little was close to that one. I thought maybe we could have done a little better. I mean, the tactics from Jackson, I mean, I don't think the tactics were really too much to blame in this particular outing. I mean, we did play Route 1 a lot in the first half. We didn't really do much with the Route 1 stuff. I thought we could have played it to Davison more if we would have played Route 1. Second half, we played a little less Route 1. We started playing it around a little bit. Of course, after we conceded 2, we started to play more direct again, more Route 1. The crosses, we put in a couple of decent crosses. I mean, Brown put in some good balls. Curry put in a couple good balls. There was one where he drove it down the 6-yard box and nobody was there. I mean, it was a quick one. There was another one where Brown, put in a ball towards the back post. Pell wasn't there because he went to ground early. I don't know. But, some good deliveries. Couldn't capitalize, though. Couple of shots that were blocked inside the 18-yard box from Chislett, from Curry. Couple half chances from the Don. So it wasn't a horrible performance all around. Just sucks that we conceded another 2. That's just typical from AFC Wimbledon. We really need to just the mental fortitude, man. I don't know what to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.